Which came first? Where Blood Lies, the short film, or Where Blood Lies, the feature screenplay?
So I wrote the short film screenplay first. And then as I was planning to make the short film, the feature screenplay was being developed. And so yeah, I guess kind of at the same time maybe. And the funny thing with that movie was like, originally I wanted to make a short film as a proof of concept, but the original short film that I wrote, there was like a backstory to, one of these characters. It was about these two kids who find like a hidden bunker, abandoned bunker. And they go in there and, they find out there was like this creature, but there was like a whole backstory to like how this experiment came about. And I scrapped the entire movie, but I liked the backstory. So I made that into Where Blood Lies.
How much time did you put into shopping the feature script?
I put a lot of effort into it. I reached out to, everybody that I knew in terms of like executives or whoever. Yeah, I did everything I could. But the feedback that I kept getting was like, they just didn't know. They're like, it's gonna be expensive, or vampires, like we see a bunch of stuff with vampires already. That was kind of the general feedback.
Plus you have the bunker. Was there like a cost, the thought of this, creating this?
Well, it ended up being just a cave. So the bunker thing, that was from the original idea. I scrapped that. But I did have a script actually that I wrote called The Lost Bunker. So like, yeah, I have a bunch of scripts.
Where were you shopping the script, and why didn't anyone want to make it?
I don't know. Like I was saying, in terms of shopping the script, I just submitted through my own contacts. This was before I got my manager. And, just through my own contacts. And I don't know why I didn't want. People just they didn't really see the vision that I was trying to make. They saw it as like one of those, I don't know, campy kind of like Nazi vampire or Nazi zombie kind of thing, which I wasn't trying to really do. And, the vampire genre, people, I think they felt it was outdone already, But yeah.
Do you remember when you stopped shopping the script and you said, I'm just going to make this proof of concept? Do you remember the moment or series of events?
I think I always had the idea that I would make a short film for a proof of concept. But yeah, I've always wanted to make the short film because even if it wasn't gonna sell the script, it was just something that I can direct and be a calling card. Because if I want to direct horror films, I have to make something within that genre, and this was gonna be it. And and I wanted to just make something. I was getting that creative bug, so yeah, and that's kind of like why I went. But I wanted to have the short film and the script ready at the same time, so that you have both things to present to people.
Oh, you mean the feature screenplay?
The feature screenplay,
oh,
yeah.
Okay. Interesting. So you want to be ready to go if they say, can I see, what else do you have? Well, I have a feature version.
Yeah.
How long did it take you to make the short film?
Planning it took a while because originally I wanted to make it in Norway. I even went out there and met with a buddy of mine and a producer, and we were scouting abandoned Nazi bunkers, which was kind of fun. But we ended up saying, okay, no, it's too expensive over there. But the actual production was only 3 days, and then post-production maybe like a month or so. And leading up to it, maybe like a month of prep.
Because you had stayed 2 days in Norway when you went to Germany, or this is different time?
No, this is like different time. This is like when I was already like about to move back to America. Like before I moved back, I was thinking like I could make it in Norway because at this time I was living in Germany. So it was like pretty close. I could just go over there. But everything's so expensive over there. It was like, no way.
When you released a short film online, how did it do the first day?
The first day, I think it got like over 1,000 views. Yeah. I had posted it on Reddit and just asking people to comment or for feedback on it. And then, you know, obviously my own social media. But yeah, it ended up getting a lot of views.
So about 1,000, sorry.
Yeah, the first day it was probably 1,000. I can't really recall, but you know, as every day went on, the views started coming in, and you know, after I think it was like, well, now it's been 2 years, it's got like 2.3 million, and all of that is organic views. Like besides Reddit and maybe some social media, like I never paid for ads or anything like that. It was like a surprise to me as well, you know, like I was like, what the heck? But that goes to show because I always knew that concept would do well, but nobody believed it. But once I put it out there, like the audience is there, you know, everybody was interested in seeing it.
Do you remember the length of time from the 1,000 to just 1 million? Not, even though it's not just 1 million, but...
I don't know, maybe a few months. Like it had to be at least a few months. Yeah.
It's great. That's not easy to do. With the success of the short film, did you have producers reaching out to you?
Yeah, I actually, well, it got licensed by Gunpowder and Sky, which is a production company that does Alter. So
that's great.
And the funny thing is they put it on their channel and it only got 60,000 views. So I already like, yeah, I'm not sure how the algorithms work, but I think because I had already posted it, maybe they couldn't get that many views. But besides them, another producer slash writer kind of group, they reached out and they actually wanted to option the short film. But you know, it ended up not working out because Gunpowder and Sky had the license already, so we had to wait for it to expire. And then by that time, they had like some other projects that they were working on, which like they got hired to do some other projects, so they didn't have time to work on their own thing. So they said they'll come back to me at one point, which, you know, you don't know if that'll happen or not. But just having that interest from them, I think was like a big, you know, a boost in morale for me because they told me that, hey, like their agents are the ones that were saying, hey, go out and like we'll get a short film and option it and then like develop that short film as an IP. So there's people out there actively looking for short films to, you know, acquire the rights for. So that's what got me interested. Like, oh, well, if they got interested in this, maybe I can do that again with another short film. Because by creating a short film, you're creating IP. As long as you create a specific world and characters, right? And then from there, either you make it or somebody else can make it, but you have a piece of IP now.
Did you think of possibly a video game?
That's a possibility, yeah, video game. Only recently did I really get interested in video games with Unreal Engine. So yeah, I mean, and you see now with video game companies, they're making movies now too. So there's definitely a big cross between the two industries. And I think we're gonna see a lot more of that in the future years.
Why isn't the success of a short enough to get a feature made?
I think it really depends on the your circumstance or, you know, who is willing or interested in making something. So, you know, we've seen so many instances where a short film did get made into a feature film, and mine almost got made. That's the thing, which doesn't mean it won't be. So there's that card is still in play, And that's why I'm somebody who would say to filmmakers, like, yeah, go and make a short film. Because I know some people say, oh, don't waste your time on a short film because it's not going to make money and nobody cares about short films. That's not true. People will watch a short film over your feature film, because a feature film, they have to spend an hour and a half to watch it. With a short film, if it's short enough, they'll watch it because it only takes like less than 10 minutes. And I've had more people watch my short film than they've watched my feature films. And I'm talking about like, you know, like the showrunner for Walking Dead watched my short film and said he loved it. You know, agents at CAA, like, I mean, it got passed around to a lot of different people because of the interest from these producers. Like, their reps was like taking this film around, kind of like showing it around to see if there was like interest already.
I mean, now, I know we used to hear that a lot, that you can't make money, but now, like, there's also channels. I know you said Gunpowder and Sky put it on theirs, but like Amaletto, they have like fantastic short films. Like, I could binge watch that all day. And you know, I wasn't necessarily always a short person, but some of the stories that they have are amazing. So, I think this become more prevalent now, it seems like.
Yeah, and you can use that short film in many ways, like really as a portfolio piece and a calling card. But if you're trying to be a director, like, you got to have something to show that's recent, right? Like, I can't show people something I made 10 years ago and be like, oh yeah, hire me to direct a horror movie when the film I made was a drama and it was like 10 years old, and they're not going to watch the movie anyway because they don't want to spend an hour and a half watching it. But I'm like, oh, hire me to direct this script. Oh, what have you directed? Oh, check out this short film. And with a short film, you can really put all your resources into a very short and just make that super high quality, right? So it won't cost as much as like making a feature film, but you can still get the same achievement, like result, which is to prove to someone you can direct.
Right. Do you ever have a tough time trying to get a good story arc for a short, or no, you can thrive in that environment?
No, it's pretty difficult for me. And that's why I haven't really made that many shorts. Like, before Where Blood Lies, I made maybe like 4 shorts, all in film school that nobody should probably watch. But that was something that was difficult because the short film structure is different from a feature film, right? It has to be sort of like how you tell a joke. You set it up and there's like a punchline. But if you try to approach it as a feature film, it just ends up being like too much information or too much story. But I think now I'm starting to understand it more. But, you know, it's probably more difficult actually for me to come up with a short film.